Hi, and welcome to this episode of our Market Updates series here on RVC TV, where we talk to international experts to provide RVC sellers like you with valuable insights and tips that you can start to use to drive your international sales. I'm Will Harding. I'm the manager of global marketing for Destination Canada. And our guest today is Suzanne Reeves, who's the executive director of our U.S. Leisure Program, who's going to talk to us today about the U.S. Leisure Program. Welcome, Suzanne. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent. We're going to dive right into it, Suzanne. I know that you've got a very, very busy shop these days. How's it going overall? You guys keeping up?
Yes, actually, you are very right. It's a very busy time right now. We are actually 5 weeks away from our official launch for the U.S. program on the consumer leisure side. So we've built our full team, we've secured all of our partners, and we're actively working to get ready and be ready in time for that April launch.
Wow, I know it's been a lot of work on the back end just to get operational. So why has the U.S. market become so important all of a sudden?
The important thing to note is over the last 5 years, so since 2010 when we exited the market, the conditions were very, very challenging in the U.S. with the downturn in the economy. We were seeing a significant decline in U.S. traveler. So strategically, we were out of that market for a number of years. And now in 2016, it's the perfect time to go back into the U.S. market because the conditions are right. Most important, the number of Americans who are carrying passports has increased significantly. The U.S. economy itself has turned into a very strong and positive environment just as recently as the last couple of months, and that's continuing to strengthen as the days and months go forward. So 2016 is a critical time for us. And then the other part of that is Americans are now, as they build their consumer confidence, they've got job security, they have been traveling within the U.S., now they're looking to travel outside their borders. And the other consideration for us is the perceptions that Americans have about Canada are extremely positive. They see us as a safe place to travel and an interesting, and it's close by. So those conditions are really critical for us as we look to come together as a country to attract those American travelers to come to Canada.
Sounds like really fertile ground for any business who's looking to make some major gains in the largest market that Canada trades with. So what's Destination Canada ultimately hoping to achieve in the U.S. market with this latest push?
So we've received some funding from the federal government and to the tune of $30 million invested over the next 3 years. So beginning in 2016 and maintaining a steady presence for Canada over the next 3 years right through to 2018. And in that time, we're looking to attract an additional 680,000 travelers as a result of our marketing efforts in the U.S. And what's important to note is that translates in over $400 million of the visitor travel economy. So very important and aggressive target, but we think they're achievable. And the other key part of this program and the way that we're approaching this is in a true collaborative partnership with the country. So we're working in partnership with the destinations, the provinces, and the territories to work and bring our investments together so we have better impact, and we're going together as a group to leverage a bigger story for the U.S. traveler, and so we can get some of that important cut through.
That's perfect. It sounds like partnership is the cornerstone of your approach. What about some of the more tactical side of your marketing approach? What exactly are we going to see in terms of the marketing communications tactics with your new U.S. push that perhaps we wouldn't have seen back in the day when Destination Canada was in the U.S. market?
So I think for us, the key difference in 2016 than where we were 5 years ago is the incredible increase in technology, and that's where we're going to be focusing our efforts. You know, we are coming together as a group, and that's important, but our Canadian dollars, when you look at how far it goes in the U.S., it's expensive for us. So for us, it's important that we stay incredibly focused, that we look at where our best market opportunities are, and we've done a lot of research to understand that, and that we do it in a digital manner. And that allows us to go after the exact traveler that we know is best, are most interested in traveling to Canada, and our best opportunity to convert that into a a traveler themselves. And what that means is we'll be doing consumer marketing, some advertising, and what we also know we need to do is we need to shift perceptions of Canada. There is the long-standing perception that we're cold all year round, and that maintains that even to this day there's still perceptions around that. And they're really, even though there's knowledge of Canada and they really love Canada, they don't know what there is to do as a travel decision, or as a travel place. So it's really important for us to focus on doing those three key things. And a digital approach will help us do that. So we've identified our traveler. We call them learners. We know where they live, and they're in 13 major cities across the U.S. And then based on those 13 cities and the learner population, we understand how to reach them. And one key thing is that we need to connect with them emotionally. So we'll be creating videos and working with some media brand partners in the U.S., so those beloved U.S. brands, to help us tell that story. And then in the creation of those videos happening in real time as they come and experience Canada, Americans having these great experiences, we'll capture all of that, and then we share it digitally and socially as well. So it's not just about an organic engagement. We're putting some paid advertising behind that to make sure that the right people are seeing the right content at the right time. And then finally, from a technology perspective, and this is what's really exciting for the partners, is in the back end we are able to digitally attach a tag onto our content, which will allow us to build some data banks on the back end that ourselves and our partners can go in and market to.
So
very exciting.
Actually, it sounds very exciting. So if I heard you right, so you've got really this new approach that's three-pronged per se, talking about reaching new customers, repositioning ourselves in the U.S. so that we're more exciting, taking advantage of digital and new technologies to deliver content that's going to inspire people. It definitely sounds like a well-rounded approach on the consumer marketing side. What are some of your plans on the trade side? What can we expect to see on that front?
You know, it's interesting in the U.S., very different from some of our global markets. Our U.S. traveler is very much an FIT traveler, and they act as their own travel agents. So important for us is to get right in front of the customer as directly as possible. And then what we do want to do is give them direct line of sight on where they can purchase, whether it's their flights, their accommodations, and then we need to share itineraries with them as inspiration. So when they go and make those decisions of which place in Canada they want to visit, they have an idea of what there is to do. That said, we do work very closely with the provinces. We go in together at some key trade shows across the U.S., and we go in together as a Canada team. And the branding at the exhibits are all branded Canada, and each of the participating PMOs, the provinces and the key destinations, are there to attract and communicate directly with those key trade. We are, for 2016, this is the year for us to work together and understand the trade landscape in the U.S., and then together with the partners at the PMO levels and key destinations is to look at what a best strategy would be for working with trade in the U.S. as we move forward. But for sure, for 2016, our focus is on the consumer marketing and getting directly into those trade avenues. We are working with a few media publishers, and within those media publishers, they sell the experiences. So as they go in and talk about this great journey you can have in these different regions of Canada, they also, within the platforms of their media environment, you can actually, as a consumer, buy that experience, and that's actually fully packaged trade opportunity. And we see those working incredibly well because you're so close to the inspirational content and then and then the actual purchase of that. But there's lots of work to do. 2016 is really focusing on doing some analysis of how we can work with the trade. What we do know is the provinces and destinations are already there. So it's really about how can Destination Canada come in and support those initiatives. It's not to take it over. It's really just to provide that key point of difference to help leverage the opportunities in the U.S.
So on that, that's a good point. So on the point of partners already being there, destination marketers across the country as well as businesses have been welcoming U.S. travelers for decades, over 14 million a year. What would your message be to these destination marketers and tourism businesses? What do they need to do to get ready to harvest this demand that Destination Canada and partners are going to be creating?
I think what we are providing to the Canadian partners across the country in the travel industry is building the stimulus and the demand for an interest in Canada. That's the work that we're doing on our end, is getting those American travelers understanding what there is to do. Again, just reinforcing that this is focusing on key U.S. cities and going in there and saying, here's this great thing to do, what there is to do. Our trade and our partners across the country need to be ready to sell those experiences that our best customers are looking for. And we have key pillars for us that we know resonates really well in the U.S. And because we want to shift perceptions, we want to show our warmth. So being in market from April through to the summer is critical for us. That'll help create that important shift of, oh yeah, there is warmth in Canada. But also that we're exciting and fun. And they want to get to know the people, not just the landscapes. And then the other key piece is our vibrant cities. They really don't know much about that. We'll be indexing heavily on telling a city story. Our key strategy is that these major U.S. cities have direct air access into the different cities across the country. So it's easy to get to. It's a short or mid-haul destination. It's direct, and you can then go into the cities and then off the beaten path to go and experience those things that are exciting, whether it's adventure, the culinary story and scene that's happening here, and then of course our natural wonders that really connect us to what makes Canada unique and special. And our marketing efforts is really about shining a light on what's unique and different in Canada. So for all of those out there who have those great experiences, let's make sure that we're sharing those with the customers.
Well, it's been nice, Suzanne, to have this time with you today to shine a little bit of light, of our own light, on what you and the team are doing in the U.S. leisure program. I know that it's been fast and furious, but feedback from the industry has been very, very positive. I guess if people want more information on the Connecting America program, they can still go to Destination Canada's corporate site at still www.canada.travel/corporate and read all about it there. So thank you very much, Suzanne, for taking the time to be on the show today.
You're welcome.
And then we also, for those of you on the viewers, don't forget to check out the RVC website itself for more valuable content and more episodes covering Destination Canada's markets around the world. Have a great day. Thanks, Suzanne.
Great, thanks. Bye-bye.